Sagan, can you tell the people that today is all about lights? No? Could you do it for me just this one time? Sorry to bother you. Let there be light! Woo! Is that brighter than before?
The filter's not over it.
Oh. Let there be light again! Slightly dimmer.
Gosh, it's dimmer.
That's not as exciting. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome to Saturday. Today is all about light, just for the fact that there have been multiple bulbs around the house. You counting them?
6, 7.
7 bulbs that have burned out.
The other day I replaced 2.
Yeah.
Like a week or 2 ago I replaced 2.
This house is haunted. Or more realistically, it is wired by an imbecile. Just for the fact that the lights go out here a lot. Like the light bulbs burn out all the time. And we have to replace the ones in the office often.
Well, not all that lately. Like, I feel like there was a good stretch where we weren't.
Well, there was a brief time where we were replacing them often, and we figured out that it had to do with LEDs. Because we had bought LEDs when we moved in here, and we're like, well, we'll just buy some LEDs and they'll be good forever. And it was burning up the LEDs in like a month or two. Within a month or two, it would burn them up to the point where they wouldn't work anywhere else. Like you'd take them out and try to put them in a different socket, and like they just wouldn't work. So that was exciting. Eventually, we found out we had to use traditional light bulbs, and they would work here. And since then, that's what we've stuck to. But things still burn out very, very quickly around here. And today, we went to the store to get a light bulb not only for the range, because that burned out the other day, and you have to have a light over the oven, over the stove.
In this corner, like when I made the cupcakes a couple days ago, and we vlogged it, like we couldn't use this light, and it's the only light over here.
So you have to have a light there. So we did that, and then the lights in the hallway, we've never replaced them, or it's been a long time since we replaced them.
We've never replaced them.
I don't think we've ever replaced them.
But we had one in the middle one in front of the closet.
Yeah.
That one went out sometime on our last trip, and your dad replaced it while we were gone.
Okay, so Dad had replaced one of the lights. Anyway, so we decided that we would replace these lights in the hallway because they take 2 lights, and only one of the lights has actually been in there. So we replaced those. And then the big one was that our bedroom has always been super dim. And we've talked about it forever, like, you know, we should really put an extra light bulb in here because we presume that the fixture takes 2 lights and there's only one in there. We finally opened it up this morning before we went out to get the lights. Turns out it takes 3 bulbs and only one was working. And actually there was one missing. So there was one working, one dead, and one missing. So we actually put 2 more bulbs in there, so now there's 3, and our bedroom is finally bright. It's been real dim for 2 years, and it hasn't been a big deal because we don't spend a whole lot of time in the bedroom anyway, but like, it's nice to be in there, so it's just nice to be able to see in there.
You also had one out in your bathroom, one of the big globe ones.
Oh, I did?
One of those were out. I replaced that one already.
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, that one was out.
Partially because those globe ones, there's like 6 lights. If one goes out, it's like whatever.
That noticeable.
Okay.
And then this is the last one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Floodlight.
One of the floodlights in the back of the house is out.
When Jeff was here and he emptied out our gutters, he said he barely touched it and it just fell and the metal part was still in there.
Yeah.
And so he got the metal part out because we had corks, and so we need to replace that. Yeah,
I'm not too surprised. That seems to be a theme around here, is that you like barely touch something and it explodes. Anyway, so yeah, the theme today is kind of lights, because we've had to replace so many. And the reason that the theme is amplified is that for the last few years, Mal has been using the same lighting kit for Mal makes. For the record, with the umbrella, it looks like this, which works out pretty well. And it's actually been broken. The lighting kit she used, it's cheap anyway, it's very inexpensive. But she's been using the exact same one since Mal Makes began. When we moved here 2 years ago, one of the lights broke because she has 4 lights. One of them broke. She's actually been working with just 3, and we've been talking for the longest time about getting her a new lighting kit, and it finally arrives today. So in addition to, talking about all the lights in the house, we actually get to unbox new lights for Mal, and I'm excited. And they're going to be real freaking bright.
I'm excited.
Hi, bud. Something tells me that you will probably not enjoy the lights very much. Wanted to do a slight update before we get to that, which is the lighting kit I talked about earlier. We're going to be opening that up in a second. Yesterday, we did our Tetris/Smash live stream, and then actually after we ended the vlog, we played a little more Tetris, just me and Mal got second. So I had set the highest at third. Last night, Mal got second. Well, tonight, for game night, there's a few people that are sick, so we're just kind of talking and playing games and stuff on our own, so I was playing some Tetris, and yes, you know what this means. I did it! I did it! Check it out! That stuff's in the way. There we go. There it is. Oh my god. God, it was so hard. It was so hard. But I finally did it.
Good job, Steven.
Thank you, Mal. Finally, after all this time, I'm as good as Thomas. Except he's pretty consistently in the top 10. And I normally do pretty well, but like I'm not consistently in the top 10. But that gave me some hope. Whew, that was a battle hard fought. Anyway, let's open the lights. This big old box is Mallory's new lighting kit. She has historically been using the CFL bulbs. Do you remember what the name of the company is that we got it from a long time? It's
Rodeo? Cowboy?
It was Cowboy something.
Cowboy Studio?
Maybe Cowboy Studio. Anyway, that stuff worked fine. It's very cheap, and it kind of shows. It gets the job done and produces light. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to move to something better. So, this must be the stands. We have so many stands in our life. Here they are. These, and there are two of them, are LED panels, and they're from Fovitec. Fovitec, I believe, goes by two different names. One is Fovitec. The other is like something Studio, and it's that's the name that they use if you buy them on like B&H, but it's the same thing. But the real magic is the fact that we got really, really bright lights. Because one of the problems that I have had with Mal makes is that I would ideally like to stop the image down, because Mal has to shoot with her aperture all the way open on her lens, which is a 2.8, which lets in light, but you want to stop it down so you can get more in focus, which is kind of a problem with Mallory's paintings, is that we have to focus right in the center, and technically on the edges of the painting, like it's a little soft. You notice it a lot in some of the older stuff. So if we can introduce more light, we will be able to close the aperture a little bit and get more into focus. That's the hope. So I decided to go with these LED panels. Same company that we use for the LED panel in the office, except that one is 600 LEDs. These are each 1200, so they are real bright. Real bright. How bright? I don't know. We have to set them up and find out. They have a nice little carrying case.
Oh, that's cute.
These lights in particular are super bright, so they're bright enough to even be used like outside. So if you were doing like wedding portraiture or something and you're doing them in an outdoor location, you could use these. Kind of curious how the stands compare to the Cowboy Studio stuff. I'm not expecting anything amazing. Just wondering if it'll be noticeably better or if it'll be about the same. They seem a little sturdier, but pretty similar regardless. Oh, these are nicer. These are spring-loaded, whereas the ones you were using before are not. They do feel heavier too, which is good. I've seen a lot of electronics including Velcro ties in their stuff lately, which I really love. So it's just a permanent part of the wiring. Everyone should do that. That's a terrible design.
To hang?
Oh my god. This cable's plenty long. Why would you... It may not matter for Mal because I don't think we normally have the lights quite this tall.
One we do, the other
One we
we
do.
don't.
But like it has to stretch all the way up here. So it has to go all the way up there, which means it would have to hang. And obviously that's not good because that's going to put strain on the part that connects to
Well,
the
maybe
light.
I can make some sort of sling.
Yeah, I think you'd have to.
Just hang it from like one of those knobs.
You'd have to do something to support this. That's not... I mean... These are from Amazon. Like, if you want professional lights, you're gonna pay for them. That's the thing. Yeah, you can buy really expensive stuff on B&H, but it's gonna be really expensive. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm actually gonna lower this so this can sit more comfortably on the floor. Yeah, even at its lowest setting, this still isn't quite low enough. I mean, it could rest here. Yeah, that's something we'll have to figure out because it really should not pull on this because that seems like over time it would do some damage. Okay, we can figure that out. We'll have to be creative and come up with a solution for that. But the real question is, how bright are the lights? And I think we're about to find that out. You can see how long this cable is.
Yeah,
I
you're
wish-
a pretty good distance away.
I wish the length of the cable was on the other end. That would have made so much more sense. Why does this part of the cable need to be long? I needed the other part of the... whatever. Anyway. Plug this up here.
Ooh, it's on.
It's actually already on. Turn it off. As a deity once said, let there be light.
Oh my gosh.
So the lights that we bought are daylight only, so they're 5600 Kelvin. They do make a model that's 1200 and half is daylight and half is some other, like warm, some other Kelvin number. So the advantage that you have with that is that you have two different color temperatures. The disadvantage is that you only have half the power because you're not going to use both daylight and the warm lights at the same time. It seems easier to me to just buy the 1200 one that has the, the bright lights. But yeah, this is dimmable. Although at 1%, it's still, pretty bright. There's no in between all the way off. This is where it starts, and then you can slowly power it up. And then I'm assuming, like a lot of LEDs, it probably takes a minute to power on fully. For some people, the AC adapter is not even going to be an issue because if you're not using this in a studio setting, it takes V-Lock batteries. So if you have those big V-Lock batteries that you'd normally use on professional cameras, you can slide them in here and they'll still work. So you can get a lot of hours out of these lights if you were using them in a field setting. But as far as this light, I'm pretty satisfied with it. Again, this is twice as bright as the one we have in the office, so it's pretty bright. Now the thing is, this has no diffusion. It does come with a clear and a warm filter that you can put in it. But I'm assuming that this light is pretty harsh.
Yeah.
Partially because it's so bright, I can't see. And this is just one. We've got another one, which is, is really exciting. All right, so I got the other light set up, and I put the diffusion filters in front of the lights. It's going to need more diffusion material. I know that just because, based on the one that we have in the office, I had to put some paper over it in order to diffuse it further, but this is at least as much as I can do for tonight. So let me turn off the lights and turn these things on.
Oh, it's dark.
It is dark. I actually kind of regret that because I can't. Oh, gotta find the button. Where's the button? Is this the button? No, that's not the. I'm close. I'm definitely. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is nothing.
Ah!
Mal, that's the low setting.
That's the low setting? Oh my gosh.
This is literally like 5%. So I'm gonna drop the ISO on the camera a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna start turning this up. It's interesting watching the histogram on the camera because it just keeps moving up. There we go. All right. Now that's one light. So let me turn the other light on now. And remember, this is diffused, so it's going to be, you know, a little less harsh than before. A little less. I'm going to start turning this up also. There we go. What do you think, Mal?
I can't even look like at you like.
Yeah. Correct. But you know what's incredible is I have the ISO setting on the vlog camera as low as it'll go. It's actually at 125, and we've got some zebras at 2.8. So I have to stop down a little bit further too, not to clip the highlights. Incredible, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of light. I believe it said at 1 meter away, each light is like 12 or 13,000 lumens, which is a lot. Good, very good. I'm happy with this. This is nice. Now, obviously, the big thing now is that we're going to have to figure out how to diffuse this light more, because it's you know, it's still going to be pretty harsh. But I've already bought some clamps for that. We just have to figure out the material that we need. You excited for the future of Malmakes?
How am I going to be able to see?
Yeah, we'll work on that. We'll work on that part. We'll get it figured out. One step at a time. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And oh yeah, we have to have a Kit Kat with this really bright light. Change the color temperature to daylight, so we're not so blue. All right, Mal. So what's our Kit Kat for today?
Was this one yesterday?
Yes, the matcha. Is this another matcha?
I think so, maybe.
It's green. Certainly looks like it.
It might be.
Oh, that is matcha. All these matcha ones. Matcha back to back.
Not as good yesterday.
You don't like it? Not even a little bit? I mean, it's definitely not as good as yesterday. Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
What is that? Ugh! What's up with that aftertaste?
I don't know, but it's awful.
Oh my god. At first I was like, well, this is one of the matcha ones. Near the end, that got bad. Oh lord. Gross. Especially going from the best matcha one to what is objectively the worst. That's terrible. Anyway. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Mal can't use these lights quite yet. She's already in the middle of a painting, so we can't switch out the lighting because we don't want the video to look different. But in the future, we've got some really freaking bright lights, and that's exciting. That's exciting for a variety of reasons, because yes, we can use them for Mal Makes videos, we can use them for mail. If we eventually move and we want to change up our lighting situation, we can still utilize these elsewhere. These are just really good, high quality, and very bright lights, and that's exciting. The only thing I don't care for is the length of the cable. That's so dumb. There might be a way to get around that. I don't know much about wiring and stuff, but it might be possible to just get kind of like an extension cable that's just like 3 feet or something from that one end to the other, because then it would probably be perfect. So I might look into that and see if that's possible. But if you're interested in this particular lighting set, I'll put it in the description down below. Obviously we just got these, but I've been really happy with the 600 LED one, which is also daylight bulbs. You know, if you're only getting 1 or 2 lights, especially if you're not getting the 1200 ones, they're fairly inexpensive, especially when you compare them to real lights, you know, things that are very expensive on B&H. So at the price point, these are pretty hard to beat. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?